Where did the ideas for the songs come from? And how did you figure out how to put this all into a story form? That's a tremendous art in and of itself.
Thank you. Yes, it was a very long process. It's a lot of trial and error and sort of a natural evolving that happened. It started about 7 years ago at the 10th yard site, the 10th anniversary of Shlomo Carlebach's death. And there was the idea to do a somewhat theatrical presentation as part of his memorial, the commemoration for him. We at first it was just going to be some songs from Shlomo's his songbook, yes. And his daughter, Neshama, who's a singer and carries on the flame, was to sing some of them. And then we had this thought, well, let's do a few scenes from his life, some simple little moments from his life. So we kind of created them improvisationally, actually. We found a couple of actors, and Neshama was sort of a narrator, and she sang a narration about parts of his life, and we just presented them in a few songs. And it was hugely successful. And then the thought was, well, what if we developed this further and made it really a theatrical evening of moments from his life and his songs? And it wasn't such a clear story arc at that point. It was just more sort of a quilt, a patchwork quilt. As the show developed, it started to be more narrative songs that fit into moments of his life.
Sing shalom for heaven, sing shalom for earth, sing shalom for everyone to know how much they're worth.
It's a piece of art. You know, we all look at a painting, and we look at a painting and we say, I like it, I don't like it, it could be this way, it could be that way, but it is what it is. The artist created it. And that's similar to a piece of theater. And in musical theater, it's even more complex because you have the overtones of the whole musical experience. And Shlomo's music is derived from the liturgy, from the Psalms.
I think of the story as a great love story, as a love between a father and a son and the world, and there were no boundaries. So it was an interesting concept for me to be able to come and try to portray Shlomo.
Well, how do you prepare for something like that?
It was really about Shlomo was a guy who went inside, not outside. And that's kind of been my own philosophy about my own work. It's about internalizing. In music, you sing not to them, but through them. You have to get inside them. And that's what, when I saw Shlomo work, and I saw him talk to the kids, and he did that, he would do this very fast talking, what we'd call recitative stuff. I went, that's exactly, I know exactly where that comes from. I know where that comes from for me. And I watched him. It was like I get a chance to be an incarnation of Shlomo. So it's my privilege, my honor, and I'm thrilled to be part of the cast.
Keep them away, keep them away.
Were you aware of him and his music
I'd heard of Shlomo, but I had no idea what a beautiful man and message he had.
Well, that seems to be what everybody say. I've heard of him, and I heard his music, but I don't really know who he is. And I think this is going to open up the world.
Yeah, we really hope so, because it's made me a better person just by being able to portray him.